Hey, Remnant of Youth, welcome to the roundtable. Today, we're going to be talking about, can Christians smoke weed?
I have two opinions on this.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think if it's recreationally, no, I don't think so. But like medically, because like almost all plants I think have like some type of, like they were obviously put on this earth for a reason. So I think like if it has like some type of like medical properties in it that help with something, medically I think it should be allowed. Like it's okay, but recreationally, like I think at that point if you're using it recreationally, like it's kind of like abusing its power.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. What about you, Will?
I have very similar to him because like I know people who have epilepsy and like they'll have seizures but they smoke weed and it's way better than taking like the pills for that type of thing because those can mess you up worse than weed can. But recreationally, no, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. Right. I know some people with Parkinson's too, like after like they'll get it like medically given to them, like they'll be like more calm. They're not so shaky anymore. They're just like more relaxed. But I don't never see them just like, hey grandma, you want to smoke this fatty? I don't think they do that. I think they need it like, if you need it, then you need it. You know, it's like what's another medicine that's like used medically, but like it'd be really or like
Xanax.
Like no, yeah, Xanax. Look at that. Or like any type of like painkillers. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like painkillers are used to like take the pain away, but if you're just taking them just so you can feel that high, like that's abusing its power. You know, like I feel like that's not what it's made for.
But what if you still lose your like soberness of mind while medically taking it?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a good one.
What if you're prescribed something medically, but you lose your soberness of mind? Like, what do you do then?
Seek help.
yeah. No, like there's a lot of complicated issues with this. You know, I don't think there's just a one standard pan answer, but I think you want to look to the scriptures as to guide like how we approach this issue. So what do you think is some biblical backup for like what you guys are talking about? Like what would be some good Bible verses to help people guide their decisions in this?
I don't really know any like Bible verses like off the top of my head.
There is no verse that says thou shalt not smoke weed.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not smoke
like,
thy weed.
Yeah, like I don't know any like top or like verses right off the top of my head that's like even related to like weed or like something just like I know there's something like abusing some type of power, but I can't really like you
like
know
dominion? Like,
not really that, but like really like how do I explain this? Just kind of like not abusing something's power, you know?
I hear you. So there's a couple Bible verses I think that'll help you guys. Number one, Romans 12 calls us to renew our minds. And then 1 Peter 5:8 wants us to be sober-minded, like fully alert, and not have our minds and our thinkings dulled. And then also 1 Corinthians 6 verse 12 says, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. I will not be dominated by anything. And so what you look at here is, and if you look at, there's a couple of studies that have come out. There's a great debate about, is marijuana like addictive? Is it not? Most people say that it's not. But there is one thing that marijuana does that I think everybody should know. And that is that there was a study that was found in the USA Today article. There was a medical journal. And it said that there are parts of the brain, particularly the amygdala and the nucleus accumbens. I think I'm saying that right. But it involves your emotion and your motivation part of your brain. And what they discovered is that even if you just smoke weed twice a week, like after even just a couple of weeks, those parts of your brain start to change.
Yeah.
And so that's where we want to be concerned as Christians. Like, do we take substances, even medically and recreationally, caffeine, you know, I'm just saying, like, be careful. Like, I'm just saying, throw that grenade in there. But are we doing things that are not causing us to be sober of mind? Because the Bible wants us to be fully alert. Like, the Bible wants us to be completely sober of mind, and we don't want to consume things that would change that part of us.
Yeah.
Because then you're not you, right?
So even then I have like two different opinions
Go
about
for it.
that. So like you were saying, like we shouldn't like this plan will obviously, like we've seen it, it'll change your type of like the way you think, the way you act and all that. Like you said, like after a few weeks it could change the way you think. But I feel like there was a purpose why weed was put on the earth. Like it was put on this earth for a reason, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't for people to start fiending around, like messing around for weed. Like I'm pretty sure it was meant for like a medical purpose, but it's like everything. It's like that's its drawback. You know, it's like the weed, like it's supposed to medically, it's supposed to, like for Parkinson's, right?
Right.
They give it to you so you can relax more, and that's so you can relax and stop shaking and be calm. But then with that, you're not sober minded, you know?
Right.
So I feel like I'm just kind of like confused, you know? It's like, why would he put this?
There's
Why would he
verses
put,
that like sound like they kind of go against each other. Like,
Yeah.
Like almost. Like Genesis 1:29, and God said, "Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruits, and you shall have them for food." But then there's also 1 Peter 5:8 that says, "Be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour."
Right.
So that's what I mean by like, that's exactly what I mean by like, it was put on the earth on the fifth earth. It was put on this earth for a reason, and I feel like that was to be medically used to help people.
Right.
And that's, what was that, Genesis 1?
But it also says, "Every tree with seed in its fruit, you shall have them for food." And
You can
Not
eat,
necessarily for medicine.
yeah, so
but you can also eat like.
but that
brownies.
you're not just gonna like throw a
Wheat
bud in
brownies.
there. You, yeah, you have to kind of, it goes through processes of getting the extracts and stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like it like you said, like it was put on this earth for a reason, like Genesis, and that's like that was. I think that it was put on this earth for like a medical reason.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
there's a
then-
reason that one of the nicknames for weed is the devil's lettuce.
You know? And then like going back to, what was it, 1 Peter?
1 Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 Peter 5:8.
1 Peter 5:8, and then
Yeah.
that goes to the part of what I mean by like abusing its power. You know,
Yeah.
like because like what does it say? The devil's lurking around.
Devil prowls around like a roaring lion.
Exactly, and that's the devil trying to get you, like it sees you abusing its power,
Mhm.
and that now the devil's trying to get you to abuse it even more. So that's where like both of my opinions just kind of come in.
And I think too, I mean, I think we could all safely say that at the round table here, we can agree that recreational use, Bible says,
Is a
no.
No.
It's a no. And I think that's good. You know, it's good that we can all, say, yeah, I think that's what the Bible is talking about, what God is, wanting us to avoid that from a recreational perspective. From a medical perspective, I would say that healing is a complex process.
Yeah.
And it really takes a lot of wisdom, and you really got to look at the different cases and what's going on. I'm a big proponent of not being dependent on things. Like, I think that's important, but sometimes there are situations where you have to do this because something else might happen. But those are case by case things, and I think that that's where you have a doctor. And not like, Dr. Joe on the side of the road selling CBD, right? I'm talking like a person that says, this is a good idea for you. This is my recommended diagnosis. And then you can pray about it and say, God, is this something okay? Like you pray about, I've been prescribed this. Is this something okay? And you go forward in wisdom and see what you can do. Because it's complicated. It is complicated. So, but recreational,
Yeah, I don't think it should be recreational, because then that's just leading it more to like, okay, I can do weed. What's another drug I can do?
right.
Like, what's another drug?
It's
I
like
can
giving
Right.
it power over you.
Yeah, it's
And you
power.
can,
Yeah,
like-
at that point.
And that's like 1 Corinthians 6 says, don't be dominated by anything.
Exactly.
Like don't let that have control over you, because like Satan can totally get at you when he numbs your mind. He can totally get at you and you're vulnerable, and God doesn't want us to be vulnerable. So you were gonna say something, Will?
The biggest thing is I looked into it for anxiety because I struggle with anxiety personally. But the biggest thing that I came to was like, at that point, you're starting to rely on that instead of God to take care of it.
Does anybody have anything else to share?
I don't really
That kind of summed it up right
Yeah.
there. Good job, Will. Good job. You want to close us out, Will?
Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Comment down below what you think. Send this to one of your friends.
turn on the bell. Let's
Turn on the bell.
Let's get to 1 million.
A million? If it gets to 1 million,
If it gets to 1 million by next week, Scott will dye his hair
Pink.
and his beard
Pink.
the rainbow.
If it gets
No,
to 1
pink.
million, Jake
Pink?
gonna do
Yes.
a full body shave.
Full body shave?
Hair to feet hair.
Okay.
I will shave my beard if it gets to 1 million.
$1 million in a week. $1 million in a week.
Yes.
$1 million in a week.
I'm down.
Jamin.
Are you down?
Yeah, I'll shave my
So
beard.
what you're
Jamin?
saying is that this isn't gonna happen. Or-
It'd be
If
possible.
this
You never
happens,
know.
If this happens.
I'll let Will cut my hair.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so and so you'll cut your hair too.
Okay. Okay.
So the round table. This is
As long as I get
us.
fade.
This is us.
It's like-
Are we? So we all
Us
gonna
one.
shave everything?
We're gonna
Yeah.
shave everything.
We're gonna go completely bald.
Dang.
Yep.
It may not grow back for me. Well, anyways, that's all the time we have for today. So, hey, love you guys. Catch you later.
Deuces.